Improving your strength is something you'll inevitably struggle with within your training at some point, whether it's squat, bench, deadlift, or just general accessory movements. So here's some top tips I've been utilising for the past 10 years to make sure I keep making strength improvements within the gym. Now, if you do want to just cut the crap and you want help improving your strength, you can sign up to my coaching app in the description, where I'll give you fully customised workouts structured for your goals and your training, and give you the best advice to help you achieve your goals without the struggle of wondering why you're not making progress. I've helped hundreds of people through my online app, and you can be the next one who makes amazing progress with my help. So you can view that in the description. And if you just want something free, you can sign up to my free email list in the description as well, where I'll give you 100 ways in 100 days to help improve your fitness knowledge to a professional level. So to improve your strength, this first point is going to sound very obvious and stupid at first, but to improve your strength, your goal is to improve your strength. Your goal isn't to see how strong you are every session. Now, I'm going to say that again just to let it sink in. Your goal is to improve your strength, not see how strong you are every session. Stop doing 1 rep max attempts, pushing heavy singles, heavy doubles every single session, thinking that those heavy lifts are going to give you some magical stimulus to help improve your strength. This fatigues you too much and regresses your strength, especially on the big three, the squat, bench, deadlift, even the overhead press as well. What you need to do within your structure, which again, I can just fully create the plan for you and tell you when and when not to do this, but what you need to do is have a plan structured to where you know when you're deloading and when you are backing off. This allows you to not only have structured time off to rest and recover, not just for your central nervous system, but for joints, tendons, and all this stuff as well. But then you know when to push hard and when you're set to push hard in the gym, and be able to have fun and push yourself, which is obviously what everybody wants to do. The mistake that people make is they push themselves hard in the gym when they want to, but it isn't necessarily when they should be doing. This results in lackluster progress and regression on strength, and then they end up getting injured and falling off the gym completely and just not achieving the goals. Another thing you need to be doing, which is very important, which a lot of people look past, is actively find and look for your personal strengths and weaknesses. A lot of people often try and improve the strength, not just necessarily on compound movements and the big three, but accessories as well. They'll try and improve the strength and they'll fail, and they won't really look into and reflect on why they failed that specific movement or that specific rep in the training. If you don't sit back and actually look where your weaknesses lie and what's setting you back in your training, then you're never going to get rid of those weaknesses and you're never going to improve. A lot of people train, they'll fail a lift, and then they'll think, oh, it's just a bad day, I've just failed it. They won't reflect on why they failed it and where the weaknesses were. Forget about it until the next session they come in and they do it again, and the ball just keeps rolling. Same cycle. They'll train, fail, not look at, reflect as to why they failed it, forget about it, do it again, and that cycle just repeats for everyone until they end up just making lackluster progress. So, are your triceps weak during your bench? Do you tend to fail at the top of the lockout rather than coming off the chest? Do you find that your bar path on bench is different every session and you're not focusing on having a consistent bar path? Do you find that your erectors are more sore than your glutes when you're squatting? Do you find that your lower back gets more sore than it should do when you're deadlifting? Do you find your grip goes more than anything else when you're deadlifting? Do you find that your glutes are sore because your hips aren't in the correct position when you're deadlifting? And have you played around with your foot positioning on squats and deadlift? Have you played around with your hand placement on the bar each session and seeing which one feels better? Have you played around with the bar placement on your back? There's different places you can go for high bar. Even though you've got high bar back squat, there's very high back squat, mid high bar back squat, and low high bar back squat. There's different ways to have the bar. Have you played around with the width you actually hold the bar on your back when you're squatting? Loads of different things you need to look at and delve into to see if it's actually preventing you from making progress with your strength in the gym. This is the problem often with people who aren't just new to the gym but are consistent in the gym. You get people who've been to the gym for years and they kind of start just mindlessly going to the gym and not thinking about what they're doing, which is good because they're consistent, but they stop thinking about what they're doing. They're going through the sessions mindlessly. 6 months, a year, more than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years go by, and if they were to actually reflect on the training and look back, they'd probably realise they've actually not made any progress in the past few years. Because they look good, because they feel strong, they've not actually been making any progress, and they've just not realised it because they've not stopped and looked at their progress. Another thing you need to focus on is realising, is your structure actually suited for strength training and actually suited for improving with your strength? Newsflash for you, if you're training a muscle group more than twice a week and you're training more than 5, you're training 6 or even 7 days in the gym, you're doing too much. Now yes, doing as much as you can is a good thing, but doing too much is counterproductive, especially for strength training if you're doing the big 3 or just doing general accessories. You won't believe how many people I see doing things that are so counterproductive in the gym, and they're actually doing more than they need to, and it's regressing the progress, not improving it. I've heard people so many times say, my bench isn't going up, my bench is stagnant. So they start adding more sets. They go from 3 sets to 4 sets to 5 sets. Then they go, right, I'm going to come in and do drop sets instead. I'm going to try and bash my chest as much as I can to make it grow or to improve my strength. That is not how strength improvements occur in the gym. You need to be strategic. You need to have consistency with what you're doing and know when to lay off and hit it hard, which again I can help you with via my coaching app in the link in the description. Just mention that again for you. And the last thing I'm going to go over is just reflect on how consistent you've actually been. The amount of times I speak to people and hear people in the gym say they've got 5, 10, 15 years of experience within the gym, and if you was to ask them within those 15 years how consistent they've actually been, the amount of times they've actually trained in the gym and the amount of time they've been consistent actually only equates to 2 or 3 years. Because even though they've been coming to the gym, they started 15 years ago, they might have had 6 months off, then they've had a year off after that, and then they've started up again, and then they've had 2 months here, 2 months there, and they've just been really off with the training and consistency. It's obvious, the longer you train for, the stronger you're going to get, but you need to be as consistent as you can. That doesn't mean training in the gym every single day, it just means having a good structured plan and sticking to it when you intend to. I've been training for 10 years now, and I've never had time off training when I've not planned to train. The only thing that kind of pushed me off a bit was COVID and lockdown, which I'm sure we all remember that, no matter where you are in the world. But that is the only time I actually had time off training, and it kind of hit a brick wall a bit because I wasn't able to train and progress. But since then I've been training consistently, and it shows. If you are consistent with your training, you will see progress. So it could be that you're not actually as consistent as you think you are if you reflect on your training. So guys, that is it there. I hope I've given you a bit of knowledge to help improve your strength. Again, if you're still struggling with your strength and you need some direct professional advice to help you, whether it is your squat, bench, deadlift techniques, breakdown of form, or you just want to build some muscle, or you're new to the gym and you want to know how to do everything, then you can sign up to my coaching app in the description and I'll help you all the way through that. I've also got 2 other videos here if you want to go and watch them. They might help you out as well on different topics. That is it there. Thank you for watching and goodbye.